I was a young and ambitious vet, just getting started.
I loved him dearly.
I loved her dearly. I hoped she would marry me if I asked.
I was hoping he would ask me to marry him.
And there was a time or two when she had danced with me. Her skin was so soft.
He was gorgeous and young.
And she would melt in my arms.
We danced 5 hours or more.
But we would part at the door. And we kissed with no time.
We made a promise to wait.
And
It was gonna be great.
I was developing a pheromone at the time to increase birth yield in cattle.
It would have been a windfall for him if it had been successful.
I was working late one night in my laboratory.
And that's when the accident happened.
I'm so sorry.
It's not a problem.
I'm such a klutz.
Really, it's not a problem.
The pheromone was designed to be rubbed into the hide of a cow to increase sexual stimulation in the bull.
He had had no success with his experiment so far, so in an act of desperation, he explored beyond the bounds of accepted scientific practice. Into the bovine solution, he introduced the pheromones of a dozen other animals, some endangered, some human. The results had properties greater and more universal than he had expected.
You're so beautiful.
Dr. Parker, what are you doing?
Dance with me, darling.
Thomas!
Dance with me,
Thomas,
darling.
stop!
Love me.
Stop!
Love me.
To say he took me would be romanticizing the act. To say he raped me would be unfair. He was out of his own control, acting on the impulse of his own creation, which I'm sure he didn't understand. It was the most painful experience I had had in my young life. But little did I know what was going to happen to me when I tried to walk home. The bats were attracted by the pheromone. They were everywhere. They bit. They burrowed. They burrowed everywhere. They violated me. I ran. The bats followed me home, where I hoped my parents would know what to do.
Dear God, Meredith!
What's going on? Oh my Lord!
That's the man! Get him off her!
I felt the bats release. Was this it? Was this horror finally over? I looked up, and the bats were after my parents.
The next morning, I found Meredith barely alive between the bodies of her dead parents. I took her to my home. I still loved her, though we were both so ashamed of ourselves we could barely even speak. When I found out 2 months after the incident that she was pregnant with my child, I begged her to marry me. I hoped she would love me again.
I knew in my heart I could never love him again, but I wanted my child to have a father.
We moved to Hope Falls, where I was sure with time we'd be able to put the horrors of the past behind us. But the true horror was still to come.
Just one more push, that's it. Good. Wonderful. Congratulations, Meredith. You're the mother of a baby girl. Let me just clean her off for you and we'll... Wait a minute, what's that? Hold on. Just give me one more little push, Meredith. There seems to be something else. I'm not sure. May just be the placenta. Oh my God!
The job fell to me. I took the bat child out to the woods. had to put down countless animals for my work, so this shouldn't have been a problem for me. I dearly hoped that this act would convince Meredith of the depth of my love for her. But I couldn't do it. I felt to my horror that by killing this child, I would be destroying my own creation. Nonetheless, I could not take such a monster back into my home. To Meredith, to serve as a reminder of the past we had worked so hard to forget. So I left you at the mouth of the cave, certain that time or predators would do what I was unable to. But I was wrong.
The bats, your true fathers, came and they took you down to their midnight lairs. The